This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your live market chat, Wednesday, October 18th, 2023. Let's get into it. I will be hanging out here for about 45 minutes. Just wanted to go live and hang out and answer any questions because we've got a lot going on. As most people know, it is OPEX. The markets are being what they're going to be, and we want to just get kind of people prepared, ready for it. I'm going to, as we speak, if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm going to be sharing all my links as we're literally talking. I would love to answer any of your questions as they come in, but just keep in mind, as of right now, I want to let a few people come on in, and let's get this party started. Again, please leave a question, comment below. Let's do this. So what do we know about the market right now, right? It's OPEX. Some things are going to do well. Some things are not going to do great. We got earnings, right? So that could control some of the action. We have Tesla and Netflix after the close. We've got global instability out the yin yang. We've got the banking stuff getting worse. I mean, anyone see Bank of America's write-offs? I think it was $163 billion of write-off charges. That ain't good, y'all. That is not good by any means. So think about that from the perspective of what's going on. As we've talked about, credit is an issue. The banking crisis, as I expect, isn't over, y'all. So hopefully people who are paying attention to what's going on aren't sitting here with their thumb up their you-know-what going, oh, everything's fine. It's all good. Everyone's going to be, everything is awesome, like the Lego song. It's not. It's not. So it's just tough. The honest truth, that's just what it is. And so a lot of people get kind of flustered by it, right? They go, oh, well, this and this, I'm just going to bury my head. And it's like, no, we got to talk about what's going on. We have to protect ourselves. We have to be thoughtful. We have to do everything we need to do to be safe. I hope that helps. And so if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate. Don't be scared. Ask some questions, and I'm going to let, some people come in while I keep dropping. I'm sharing this all over social media as we speak. I don't know. I just wanted to get this out. I thought, it's better to talk now versus maybe later, because I think there's some action, some things that are happening as we speak that you just got to pay attention to. Because are you surprised that Apple's rallying back at all? Are you surprised that, the dip is getting bought near term? Is it OPEX? No, you shouldn't be, right? You just shouldn't be. And that's the thing about trading. OPEX, it's going to be sloppy, choppy. However, there are things that I think, like Caterpillar, that thing's done. It is toast. It is broken. If you're short that, again, you can trade around it, but it looks like it's busted. And a lot of people might say, well, you let it go, do I do this? What? It's like, be careful, y'all. All right, hey, Dan, what is the eventual lower low on the semis? No, it's going a lot lower. Remember, think about what's going to happen here in the markets. Like, think about how this ends. It's straight line panic. I don't know what to tell you what that price is, Holly. That's a good question. I just know that's how it ends. So, the road is not paved in complete gold until the very end, where people start going absolutely bonkers and giving up, right? Like, that's what you got to assume is the end. Are we there yet? No, not even started. Not even started. Will NVIDIA China impact megatech technology earnings? I mean, this current quarter? No, it's not going to matter. Like, that stuff's already been talked. It's when they're putting their earnings together, they're not going to be talking about and specifying stuff that is in the future or currently happening. So just, again, I wouldn't even overthink it. Again, the market's going to do what? It's going to discount everything, right? It's going to do its best, right? Does this make sense? Like, you got to be like 1000% cognizant of what's going on. So I think there's a lot of people who are just, what's the best way to describe it? Just they don't understand how the big trend works. And I beg them, plead with them, please go look at the past. Like, the last move is absolute just mayhem, pain, straight line moves, destruction. Are we there yet? No, we're not. So to assume anything else, you're just kind of, again, you're putting yourself in a position to think that it has to happen now. And that's just the problem here. It's not. I'm sorry. I mean, OPEX, could it happen this week? and start it. I mean, we talked about there's an absolute monster problem with Octobers, and it can turn into liquidation moments. I just hope people realize that. So if you're doing yourself a disservice by overthinking it, that's just the nature of the beast. Like, everyone wants it to happen now, and you got to let this shit play out. That's just the best way to describe it. So if that helps at all, I know it's kind of, I don't know what the best way to explain it is. It's like abstract. We just know when we know when, we know if, but not when, right? Is that not a fair statement here? We know the shit has not calmed down. We know that the shit has not hit the fan yet fully. But again, you go study the past, Holly. Like, you're asking these questions, like I can tell you exactly how it unfolds, where if you do your homework, you look in the past, you go, holy shit, when it goes, it goes. Because again, it's not even about anything other than sheer panic. And that's what happens at the next move down should be. Because remember, now that we have lower highs and lower lows, at some point, people will absolutely just and go, well, the bear market's coming and a recession's coming, and I just got to get the hell out of the way. And that's what they do. And it's like, oh, I don't want to lose my yearly bonus, and I don't want to get caught, underperforming the market, and I don't want to be the idiot who does, think about it from their perspective, that doesn't, perform. Think about all the little things that the psychology of this that gets people to absolutely just puke, right? And the lower it goes, the more that these people start all going, well, there's a fire in the theater, I'm out. And that's what happens. And that's what happens, guys, gals, friends, whatever. That's just how it plays out. And so if you want to think of it any other way, well, okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but study the past. The past is your friend. The past is your friend. And it's just, here, let's just look at what it looks like. Here, I will give you the cues. Let's go back to the 2000s. Let's go back in our time machine. Look what happened. Right? Peaked in August and then started just a massive downtrend. What else peaked in August? Our market, tech, right? But look what tech did. Dropped, and then it chopped for months. And it got people going, well, I guess everything's all right. No, because remember, the first dip gets bought, and they chopped it out. So, let's go back to now real quick. Here you go. Here's the first major dip. It gets bought on the monthly, and now we're chopping out. When this son of a bitch ends, it's going to be absolute mayhem, chaos, destruction, and pain. And if not, then it's because the Feds pumped liquidity, and guess what? You're just wrong sometimes. We can't control that. If the Feds go full QE, unlimited liquidity, then it just is what it is. All right, let's go back to the SPY, 2008, right? I mean, here again, the past is your friend. I promise you. It's worth studying this stuff. Here you go. Another August, September peak. A little rally around October, then just starts the process. And here's that last leg, and then it chops, and then it bottoms March. Took months to bottom because nobody was buying the market. Everyone's like, oh, this is just ruined. I'm done. Does this make sense? Like, when it happens, it's going to happen. I just don't know what to tell you. Why are we talking about the TLT bottom? Jesus Christ. Yes, we know bonds will bottom, but here's the thing. Like, you're comparing apples to oranges. The TLT right now, bonds in general, compared to anything we've ever seen in history, not comparable in my opinion. Other than the 1970s, and interest rates stayed way higher for way longer than people thought because they had to kill inflation. We are under the same circumstances potentially. I'm not saying why would I want to fuck around in the bond market when there's shorts in the market that are so fucking obvious? It's like getting slapped in the face. But it's like people are asking me, well, what about the bond market? I expect volatility in it. That's all. At this point, it's like I've pivoted. Why the fuck haven't you? Yeah, there's big volume down here. Could it be bottoming? Who knows? I'd rather be late to this party and short the fuck out of everything else than buying bonds early and watching my money get wasted in this potential purgatory of chopness. That again, who knows what's going on in the global markets? Everyone's trying to sell bonds. There's literally every bond auction has no fucking demand. Yet people are saying, I want to buy bonds. Do you? The government hasn't been this big of a risk to default in my lifetime. I mean, they can't even get a freaking Speaker of the House to pass. And do you think they're going to be able to pass a budget? They're going to try to keep kicking the budget down the road. I don't know how the market's going to react. Too many variables. Why do the hard shit? Anyone asking about bonds and thinking this is their best trade is a fucking idiot. Excuse my language. Again, maybe this is the bottom. Yeah, the only thing the good government's good at is spending. Agreed. And now nobody wants our bonds. So, again, at some point when inflation gets under control, but higher rates by nature are inflationary. They're raising the cost of everything. They need the economy to absolutely hit the skids. That is the only way. And so if people want to play the bond game, I don't care. If the market's going to slow and that's what they want, the Feds want, why don't you just short stocks and then wait on bonds? And maybe this is the bottom. I don't know. But what's the easier trade? I don't get why people cannot pivot. If you cannot pivot on trades that aren't working, it says to me you don't know how to trade around your positions. You don't know how to pivot when you're wrong. You don't know how to pivot and change your mind and let the evidence just talk to you. That is a massive problem in trading. Because sometimes you're going to pivot and the things are going to happen later. Who gives a shit? But if you can't pivot on the evidence, on the basis of repeating patterns, on what you see and say, well, guess what? I'm wrong. And then move on. That says to me a lot about your personality and your ability to just have to be fucking right and have to do something. And just because you've mentally invested in bonds, you got to buy them. No. I thought this was the bottom down here. Wrong, left him. Look what happened. Absolute burn. Absolute burn. But I haven't been watching it. I don't care. I said, well, there's volume down here. Absolute burn. Yet people are talking to me about bonds every day. It's an absolute travesty that their mind is focused on this. Trying to catch the bottom here. When there's literally 100 easier trades, potentially. That says a lot about the person. But who gives a shit? Why do we care about bonds right now? Again, at this point, I don't know. Can you not just admit to yourself you don't fucking know and just move on? I said watch for volatility in the bond market. That's all that I care about. If the bond auctions are failing, it does not give the market confidence. I don't even want to talk about it. Yes, obviously the fucking 70s, Pierre, is when interest rates went to 18% and the Feds had to kill inflation. And so if you think interest rates, bonds at 5 and 6% were good, no, they lost a ass ton of value when interest rates went much higher. No, it's just silly. It's just absolutely silliness. Like, who cares? I mean, again, if this is the bottom, what have we said about bonds? They're going to be choppy and sloppy. And if you go back to 2008, it was a different time. Think about why. We didn't have like this massive budget deficit. We weren't spending out of control. The Feds actually had bullets to fire. We've been in QE forever and low interest rates. They are fucked. And maybe when the shit hits the fan, that last leg, here you go. Bonds did not get bought until when? November of 2008. But the market, guess what? Started tanking way earlier than that. And you were sitting here playing with the bonds, twiddling your thumbs with your thumb up your ass. And I do remember this. I remember it was like, oh, it was one of the last trades. So again, wasting time on bonds. When the market started collapsing in the fall of 2008. Remember, bonds will confirm it after the market dumps. So why not get in front of the market dump and wait for bonds later? If that's what you really have to do. Is this not obvious? Is this not obvious? Because again, I don't know why I have to do your homework, which I don't mind doing. But if you're going to ask me about bonds every day, all the time, you should have done this. You should be doing your own homework, man. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's like, know that you know. You got to know that you know. And here you go. Caterpillar, goodbye. Said, watch the 50-day. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. This is a fucking gift. This pattern, if this, again, people are like, oh, I took all my profit. I haven't taken a penny off because, again, I'm waiting for this. Now I've given myself time. I know the longer this chops and tops fails, the bigger the move that's coming. Could be wrong, but that's typically how it goes. So I have no desire to take any Caterpillar short off unless I want to trade around it. But for swing purposes, no. FedEx, again, said watch the 100-day up here. You're welcome if you got any. Apple, as we've talked about. Are you surprised it's trading around there? They're trying to hold this thing up. Gifts. Remember Tesla has earnings today? I had no clue what's going to happen. I would love to see it spike, then I'd short the shit out of it. Netflix has just been absolute a turd. I mean, it's probably due to bounce for earnings, but also, who knows? I mean, everyone knows that they try to enforce this whole process of getting people to not share passwords. I wonder how many accounts they actually lost. I'd be curious to know that answer to that simple, wee little question. IWM, as we said, is lagging. SPY, are you not surprised? Again, we talked about this along the way. Said if it holds down here, it could bounce going into the what? The beginning of first and last 3 business days of the month. Look what it did. It bottomed down here, rallied up. Not surprised. This happens. As much as I want to believe a downtrend is down only and an uptrend is up only, as much as we want to believe in fairy tales, pixie dust, leprechauns, and, pots of gold at the end of the rainbow, that's not how it works. And what do we get? A bounce, and now we're chopping out during OPEX. Are you surprised? No. You shouldn't be. It's sad. It's the same questions. It's like, where'd the critical thinking go? Again, I don't mind answering questions, but it's like, man, it's the same questions. Can't you just pivot? Don't you guys realize I pivot? Oh, man, I didn't even talk about JP Morgan. Don't you guys realize that I have to pivot at times? I'd rather be protecting my money than being right. That's rule number 1 in my mind. Always. If being right means you need to be long something or buy the bond market, then you're not literally doing what the market. It's like saying I'm going to play poker and I'm going to win when I want to win. Okay. I'm going to go play blackjack and this is what's going to happen every time. No. Chase, if you shorted this sucker up near 149, 150, you're welcome. Again, you're welcome. Some folks were talking about Micron today. Up. There you go. Again, chopping around, holding the 50-day. Again, it's OPEX. Am I going to sit here and be butthurt by anything? No. Morgan Stanley had earnings. Not so hot. Professional gap. Goodbye. Goldman Sachs had earnings. Again, if you shorted financials, another amazing trade. Obvious. Easy as pie. Said watch for the moving averages. If you see this, If you see it touch the moving averages, take a short. How many people told me they did this? How many people you guys think told me? One person. One person. See why I get frustrated? I'm like, wow, it's literally that easy. It's literally that easy, and nobody is doing it. What is like, you follow the Discord room, you follow the channel. I've almost 10,000 followers, and only one person told me that this was an easy, like this is the trade. And I'm like, what the fuck is everyone else doing? Literally, what are y'all doing? You got folks over here like, oh, I have to buy the bond market. Okay. You have other people saying like, I just don't short. So what's the long? I don't know. This is the easiest shit you will ever see, potentially, with a defined risk. And I get one person telling me they did that trade. Well, we're shorting Chase. If you want to short other banks, whatever. XLF, carry. Unreal. And you see why I'm like, today, I'm like, you guys are asking some, like these questions. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? Why? Why? We've said NVIDIA's toast at some point, right? I want to go long. I want to buy the bond market. Why? Why? We said, watch what happens if it holds the 100-day. Thought it would probably fail here. Nope. Then said, watch what happens when it rides the fucking channel. Guess what? It fills the gap. It couldn't be any easier. Now it's broken the 100-day. Just a matter of not if, but when this thing gets absolutely obliterated. Oh, but the news this and news that. And again, we always say the news follows the trend and helps out. Hey, Holly, good. I mean, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Again, I hope people don't take it personal. I'm just like, why? Like, I'm you talking to yourself. Like, why? No, but the news says it's going to 1,000. Exactly. Okay. What are you watching? What source of information are you taking in other than the past, evidence in the charts, and repeating patterns? If you need to talk to CNBC, you want Pete Najarian to tell you what to do, or you want Tom Lee to come on TV and tell you what to buy, then what the fuck? What are you doing? Don't trade then, because you're going to get absolutely destroyed. You're going to get burned. Does this make sense? Is there anything to go long in this market? I mean, again, that question implies like, what's the best risk reward? Sam, yes, you. I'm talking to you. You get mad when I'm like, please don't go long in a market that's short. Okay, well, if you bought gold and silver, cool. You played the odds of hitting news and global problems. Well, guess what? If that's the best trade to go long, that's the best trade. But I'm not going long gold and silver because I know it has no upside until the Feds do what? They pivot. It's not sustainable. They're trying to pull liquidity. Gold, silver, the market, they're all liquidity plays. And as global tensions get normalized, what do you think will happen with gold and silver? People will sell it. Just like they always do. Just like they did in 2000 and whatever, 22, when they invaded Ukraine and gold spiked, and then it gave back most of the profits. We have not seen the Fed pivot. We have not seen the worst of this. We've not seen hedge funds liquidate. We haven't seen the CME raise margin requirements to 60%. You haven't seen the forced selling that comes to all winners and losers. So when someone says, what's the best long in the market? I'd say just wait. That's the best long. Take some time. What's the rush? Yes, your favorite names. Exactly. Thank you, Joseph. Like, I feel like sometimes there's only a few people that actually get this. And I don't know what everyone else is doing with their time, because the people that get this, they tell me exactly what they're doing, why they do it. They say, hey, I was wrong here. Just like you, I understand sometimes I can be wrong. It's cool. I understand that now. I'm not married to my positions. I trade around my positions. I have confidence that there's always another winning trade, so I'm not married to fucking bonds or going long the market only. No, they get it. They get it. They realize the hardest part about trading is the space between their fucking ears. They don't have to be perfect. They don't always have to do something. They don't always need to be firing off trades. They don't need to be long. They don't have FOMO. Do you see? I wish to God there's only a few people that get it, and I don't know how to talk to the people who can't, because again, you will not change, just like none of us will change until what? The pain is too great to not change. Let me know when it's not, because I will be there to pick you up. I will be there to support you. But when you continue to do the stupid shit and ask the same stupid questions that show that you haven't thought about why I give you what you might think are the same stupid answers, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's hard. Trading is a probability game, y'all. Come on, man. Like, I want you guys to win. Stop fucking around. Oh, I got to buy bonds. Oh, I got to go long the market. Do your fucking homework. Why would I want to go long in a market that's probably going to get absolutely liquidated in October and November? Why would I want to go long with the SPY up near the high end of the range? Anything. Anything. Why would you want to go long with the Qs hitting what? The channel high. Why would you want to go long anything with the IWM acting like complete dog crap stuck at the lows? Is there anything? I mean, is this clear? I mean, again, I feel like I say this like once a week. And again, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be like honest. Like, do you come here for the honesty, or do you want me to like pat your ego and tell you it's okay to do the wrong things? You know, I got people who, well, what about copper, right? Yeah, zoom out. Well, remember you said this one at 15. Well, guess what? We're at 15 and the market hasn't crashed yet. Get the fuck out of the way. I have no faith in that. Oh, but VALE material names are cheap. Well, guess what? They can stay cheap for a long time. Zoom out, motherfuckers. Especially you people who are like, oh, I have to go long. Look what happened. Go back into the past. Go back into the past. Go back to the 2000s. Nothing. These things can go sideways and nowhere. Even as the market dumped, they went nowhere. Is that where you want to put your capital? Do you want to make a return, or do you want to just make yourself right? What is very clear about VALE? It's in a big, choppy, sloppy pattern. Leave it alone. We love materials long term, but do I want to buy them now? Or do I want to take advantage of probably the biggest generational tech short you will see in the next 20 years? Buy materials? Go long? Buy gold? Buy silver? Buy miners? Again, just big, choppy sloppiness. I mean, I have zero fear. Zero. Let silver play out. What's the I'd rather get long breaking out of this than waiting down here and fucking twiddling thumbs and pretending that it's gonna, it's better trade. But I can only go long certain. Well, then take a break. Go on vacation. Wait for the VIX to spike. The VIX is at a solid, what is it? Solid 18s. And you fuckers want to buy stocks? Yeah, you, Sam, you want to buy stocks with the VIX at 18 with everything that's going on? Why? I'm not trying to pick on you, but that's just like everyone here would probably say the same. Why? You want to buy stocks for the long run with the VIX down here. We still ain't even seen a VIX pop to 48. Come on. Now, again, the only way that we're wrong is if the Feds go full liquidity, but they're trying to drain liquidity as fast as possible right now. Talk to anyone in the banking sector. Talk to anyone who knows what's going on behind the scenes. They are scared shitless, and they have to drain liquidity to put it back at some point if there is a time to do it, which there will be. They're going to do it. I'm not trying to be mean, y'all. But if you're going to ask the same questions, you're going to get the same answers. Here's Caterpillar's monthly. What is that? Range high. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Head and Shoulders monthly. What did we say? Again, all trades start on the monthly. What's going on here? Oh, we bounced. Now the 20-month is resistance. The 50-month is support. Do, 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 do. JP Morgan. Oh, I forgot. That didn't save. Look at this. That's the trend line I'm watching. Fake breakout, support, fail. Got to break below here. Once it breaks 140, the damn breaks. Applesauce. Right? Like, what's going on with Apple? Wow, that's pretty steep, isn't it? Notice what's happening around here. Zoom out. We know gold is a big monster cup and handle. I still believe at some point we'll test this trend line and support when the liquidity gets drained and people are forced to sell. And if it's not, what's the rush? What's the rush? Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Again, if you struggle with this ego, and again, I'm going to pick on Sam because the guy's talked to me hours. He has the belief that he can't short stocks because it goes against his morals or his beliefs and his values, which, again, I respect people who respect their values. But don't force longs then. That's what I would just tell you. That's the simple answer. Don't force longs. But the RSI and oversold, okay, well, if you want to day trade things, go right ahead. I will not argue that that might be the best thing for you. Because there are obviously going to be opportunities intraday where things will what? Bounce. Nothing goes down in a straight line. We all know that. But to sit here and say what's the best long-term up trade or what's the best thing to go long, I don't know. Maybe the dollar. Maybe it's the dollar. I don't know. It's so much crap. I just don't get it sometimes. I don't know how to help people who just won't help themselves. It's like you can read a book on self-help and then you just don't implement any of it. But you feel good that you read the book. So you come to this room, you come to this video, you watch the video, makes you feel good about trading in yourself, but do you actually execute and implement anything? Literally anything? Ask yourself. I'm talking about like hypothetically anybody. Are you implementing what you need to do? Well, I struggle with trading around my positions. Well, talk about it. Why? Don't we say that you should? Again, know your plan. Like, again, does everything go in a straight line? Like, it's so obvious. No. Yet people who don't trade around their positions are the same people who are going, I don't know if I trust this market. I think it still could go higher. Okay. Well, just because you got chopped out, because the market does chop out at times, you believe now it's going higher. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, we'll see. again, it's not rocket science, y'all. I'm trying to be so bluntly honest with some of you guys that have the same reoccurring issues. It's like going to the doctor, and do you want me to give you the pill or do you want me to give you the solution? Because the pill is you're going to feel better for a minute. Do whatever you think is right. I'm here to support you. Or this is what you really should do. You need to get on a different routine. You need to change your diet. You need to change your psychology. You need to understand when you get into a trade exactly what you need to do to define your risk. You need to know that in a trade, depending on what's going on in the market, if it's the Monday of OPEX and your stock tanks like Apple, what do you probably think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? It's going to rally back probably because it's OPEX. Well, what about even Tuesday? Yeah, still early in the week. Probably kill some puts. What about even Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, maybe. I mean, remember that most people hold these monthly options until at least Wednesday or Thursday of that week. Well, guess what? Get them all buying puts, rally it back, and now the market makers are sitting on all the puts. Like, come to daddy. Put those in my cereal. Nom, 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 nom. Honey bunches of puts. And then at some point, they'll pull the rug on this thing, potentially. Does this make sense? Thoughts, questions, concerns? Again, I appreciate all the love and support. Again, I appreciate the donations. That stuff means a lot to me. Even if it's $5, it makes me realize you understand the value of a free education. And then also, too, like, I've never been one to deny a single person of help unless they absolutely are just completely worthless and talk shit and troll. And then when I try to help them out, they don't respond well. Like, those people, I don't care. And it's not about, like, I don't care about them as people. But at a certain point, you can't help everybody. Silver low of the day. Miners low of the day. Well, guess what happens with miners? Oh, thanks, Joe. I appreciate you even saying you're going to... I mean, again, I work pretty damn hard to help as many people out as possible. And so I love to see people actually executing this stuff. And I don't care about the money. I want to hear how people are doing. Because if you don't tell me how you're doing, I can't help you. If you're ashamed that you've made mistakes, well, guess what? No one's fucking perfect. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. We all make mistakes. If you don't release mistakes, if you don't understand mistakes, you're bound to repeat them. Why would anyone buy the miners? We know what the miners do on the monthly if the market dumps. We all know. Let's play this story again. Waste of time. Let's repeat the same things over and over and over. COVID smash. 2008 smash. I mean, what confirms a gold or uptrend? Like, how would miners confirm an uptrend at this point? I mean, it's like not even worth talking about. Like, it's so obvious. Again, have the Feds pivoted? Have the Feds pivoted? Now, again, we talked about oversold rally. Look at support equals resistance. Cool. Trade it if you want. Nope. Cool. I'm not going to say that was the wrong trade. Clearly, it was the right. It said it could pop. But do you want to do that? I don't know. Again, I don't want to talk about gold, bonds, miners, anything related to longing these names. And also, no, I don't really even want to short them. I've played to explain, so like, I don't want to short these things, even though I get the crush. I think there's a generational tech market short right now. Like, will miners get obliterated? Probably at some point. But it's like, I don't know. Like, there's better trades. Like, it's just, there's just better trades. It's like, why spend a minute on it? Like, why spend an absolute thought on it at all? It's like brain cancer. Like, it's a mind virus. Not being able to pivot is an absolute mind virus. You don't realize it until you miss out and it kills your potential. As someone who has traded gold, metals, miners, bonds, all this stuff for many years, I've been caught in the mind virus, as I would call it. Sometimes you just go, you know what, I'm not going to play in this pool. It's just not worth it. Just not worth it. Why would I even go there? That's not what people do. That's just what people do, though. People will say, I have to do this. I have to do... No, you don't have to do anything. Hold on one second. Trying to pull up the link. Why is it not showing? Ugh. Text. Give me a text link. Why is it not showing? Hold on one second. All right, there we go. Why? Like, you need to realize you are not the wiring that you are. You are literally a conditioned soul by the prior wiring of whatever the fuck you were told and whoever brought you up and whatever religion you studied and become a part. That is the wiring that controls you. Break free. Thank me later. I don't give a shit if you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Jewish, anything, whatever your beliefs might be. You do not realize that you are not the voices in the beliefs that you want. Or that you are. You can be whatever you want. Good or bad, obviously. But these voices, these beliefs, these thoughts that were imprinted on you your whole life are not you. They are wiring that puts you in a box. And this wiring says you can't be healthy. You can't be happy. You can't be loved. You can't set stops. You have to look at bonds. You have to do everything that you've always done. That's the problem. Learn to untether your soul from anything that is this kind of crap. Please, for the love of God, you are not your beliefs. If you believe you are, then of course you lose. That means you can't be happy. You can't be loved. You can't be a great trader. You can't be anything. It all stems from your beliefs and the thoughts and the things that are wiring below your field of consciousness that are literally limiting you. That is a you problem. Oh, I've always wanted to be in shape. Well, why aren't you in shape? I've always wanted to make money in trading. Why aren't you making money in trading? Why aren't you in a happy, healthy marriage? That's a you thing, me thing, whatever you want to call it. Clearly, there's plenty of education out there. Clearly, there's easy answers. Clearly, people care about you. Clearly, people love you. Clearly, if I could help you, I will. But why? Why can you not do the easy things? Why does trading seem so hard? Why is MU holding up? That's a good question. Let me check briefing. Let's go look at the petroleum data just came out too. I'm going to get going here in a couple minutes. Think deep about this. Average. Yeah, I mean, looks like inventories are up or we're pumping more. What's oil doing? Yeah, it's coming back. I want people so badly to figure this stuff out. Just like I'm trying to become the better, best version of myself along the way. Whether it's trading, relationships, health, wellness, all this stuff. It's all incorporated. Think about it. Trading is just an extension of your mind. If you don't think so, then you're not thinking big enough. Because again, in a probability-based game, it's all about your thoughts, how you handle them, how you acknowledge them, how you act on them, how you feel about yourself, right? Like how many times have you gotten to a trade, missed it, and go, well, I just don't want to get in a trade because you feel bad about yourself? Like, what logic? That's just stupid. I'm a loser. I mean, how many times have I told myself that and then been like, well, let's really be a loser and miss the next trade? Man, I don't know. I hope this helps, man. Again, I know some people are new. It's fine, whatever. I'm just blunt and honest sometimes. Days like today, with the questions that I'm getting, it's just like from the same people asking the same things that just, it triggers my soul in a way that is like incredible compassion and frustration at the same time. Like, what? It's like being a coach, and it's like a diet coach and being like, all right, you want to lose 20 pounds? Stop drinking soda and eating Cheetos, you fat fuck. And then you realize, you look at their receipts, all they do is buy Cheetos and drink soda. Maybe that's a harsh way of saying it, but that's the reality. That is really how it is. Like, you want to believe that you have the control, the power to change this stuff. I hope that makes sense. Like, you're not, the voices, the emotions, the feelings, those intuitive like thoughts and feelings that feel like they're real are not. They really aren't. They are literally wiring from your past, from your childhood, from emotionally charged, traumatic parts of your life, and that your body, mind, and soul feel like this is the best reaction. I should do this. It protected me at one point in my life, so it has to protect me for the rest of my life. No, it doesn't. Just because someone broke your heart when you were 20, 25, 30, 35, I can't love anymore. What kind of bullshit belief is that? Oh, food makes me feel loved. I have to overeat. No, you don't. Your body can go 30 days without eating. Just because you have a craving for food, oh, I got to fill it. No. That's a wiring mechanism. Oh, going to the gym is too hard. Reading books is too hard. Studying the charts is too hard. No, that is a belief. Because there's somebody out there doing way more than all of us, guaranteed, and doing just as fine. Again, I don't have to do it because I did it for 10 years. I watched and studied charts all day, every day, hours and hours. Played Guess the Next Candle game. Played and did things that nobody would be willing to do. But you want average results doing average, mediocre things. Good luck. That's not how the life works. The wiring that may be impressed upon you because of your religious beliefs, if it's not serving you, is that what you want to believe? I don't know. Again, if you were raised by your parents and your parents said you don't deserve this, or this is how life is and money is this, the root of all evil. Well, guess what? If you believe this stuff, it's going to absolutely control and dictate your beliefs on how to trade and how to execute and whether you deserve to make money. It's going to drive you crazy. Do not succumb to this bullshit. I've realized that in the last couple of years that literally, again, and some of the guys, Eric, Scott, Alan, Side, some of you guys have been around, you get it. You've realized very, very slowly, just like myself, that everything continues to happen because of us, me. Repeating patterns, just like in the market. Well, guess what? If there's a repeating pattern in your trading, there's a repeating pattern in your life, it's not random. Old habits die hard until you allow yourself to change. Yes, and the problem about changing is that we're wired. It feels hard. And that's where in this book, like, letting go is not usually, it's the solution. But how you let go of these beliefs, thoughts, it is powerful stuff because you won't want to do them again. You won't be triggered to react in certain ways. It's like angry. People just get angry easily. Well, what triggers anger? Why would they get angry? Maybe anger at one time protected them from bullies. Maybe it protected and got attention from people so that they would be nice to somebody. You don't realize why you even get angry. At some point, it served you and your personality and your life. Why do you get depressed? Well, maybe when you were sad, people comforted you and told you everything's going to be okay. And this is the only time you actually got attention and love from people, is when you were sad. Does this make sense? All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody. I really do. I hope you're doing well. Come from a place of love. Be compassionate with yourself. Do not be hard on yourself, because, again, beating yourself up doesn't solve it either. Saying, oh, I'm an idiot, or I can't believe I do it. No, it's accepting that is what is. Talk to yourself like a child, and then move forward and embrace it and go, thank you for the gifts and the awareness that you've given me for my whole life. But now, these actions, these reactions, these emotions, these thoughts, they are not serving me. And I release you. And thank you for helping me for one time, which was important. Hope this makes sense. All right. Have an amazing day. See you in the Discord room. Holler if you have any questions. And it's OpEx, ChopEx. Be careful.